Hey everybody, it's Steven with Cornerstone Auto Pros, serving Denton County, the North Dallas, Fort Worth areas. Wanted to show you guys today, so we're turning the corner on this Lincoln, and if you've watched any of the previous videos, you could see that this thing has just been in a million pieces, and I wanted to just talk about what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And what are some things that you should consider when it comes to choosing a repair shop for your hail damage repair? And so the first thing that I want to say is we're taking this entire door off of this car so that we can put it onto a stand. And so this stand is going to allow me to access every single dent without having to risk the components of the door, the integrity of the door. It's going to allow me to get to these really lower spots on the door that otherwise I would have a lot of difficulty to access. A lot of times, and you can see a lot of times if there's only one or two dents on the bottom of these doors, we can glue pull them. Just showing what it looks like in there. I'll grab a flashlight so you can see better. But this dent here has, I think, around 70. This door has about 70 dents on it, and right here you can just see the entire back of the panel. And if you look down into these areas here, you can just see everything in here. And so I've got this all taken apart. Oh, it's a little bit of a hard angle there, but I've got all of this taken apart so that I can actually get a tool behind the panel. And when this whole door is on the car, the door handle's installed, the door glass is installed. Basically what happens is that we're not actually able to get behind every single dent with ease. We can put stress on components as we try to leverage off of them to fix them. You can see it still has hail damage. Don't have it in the light here. But really the biggest problem is what's going on the bottom parts of these doors, especially dents that intersect these body lines. And we just run into just significant access issues that really are they're just hard to fix and to do it the right way, to do a good job, unless you pull these doors off and throw them on a stand. And surprisingly, it would take less time, depending on the amount of damage, to take it all apart, fix it on a stand, put it back together, than it would for me to try to work in awkward position on the rest of the car. And so I'm gonna grab my light again just to explain in a little more detail why we do this. And so when we're looking on the inside of this door here, let's see if I can get my light on there, you can see what's going on in the bottom left corner of the screen. That there is the back side of the handle assembly. That's a track that's for the door glass to come up and down in line inside the door. This glass here is a laminated glass. You can see that by the groove that's right here. And so the traditional way that we get into these doors is we'll put a protector down on this side of the glass, and then we'll use a wedge to open it up a little bit more, and then we'll use tools going down through here. And that really works great for a lot of dents in these areas, but it creates limited access for what's usually up here, because there's usually a lot of bracing. And then what it does is for these dents down here, to have a tool that's long enough to go from the top of the door to the bottom of the door, it's got to push against that glass the whole way down. And you know, if there's only 1 or 2 dents, fine. Maybe they could be glue pulled even. But when you're trying to fix a bunch of hail dents going along the whole bottom of the door, you're really abusing the internals of the car door. And so I've just come to the point where even though I might be able to do it on the car, I've noticed that it just takes much longer. It's a fight almost every time. There's bracing, internal structure bracing to keep people safe in case of collision that gets in the way. And ultimately, I'm able to deliver a better product to you guys if we get the door off the car. And so I've been taking cars apart, putting them back together for over 20 years. And so this looks a little crazy and maybe even disorganized, but this thing's going to go back together without any problems. And then I'm going to do that to all 4 doors. And so show you on the other side of the Lincoln here, but you know, there's 135 dents on this door, with the average size of them being 1/4. And if I'm trying to just contort my body to weird angles, fixing all these dents all day, I could get a pretty good result just because that's just what I strive for. But it's a fight. And so that's why it's worth removing the door, putting it on a stand so that I can actually sit down, access it from multiple different angles. Instead of just going from the top, I can come from the inside up. I can use different shaped tools because I'm not having to fight this interior door panel, which we want to protect. It's just much easier. And then the other thing is, if you've been watching any videos on this Lincoln, then what you're gonna remember is that this hatch was off the Lincoln earlier, and I was originally gonna wait to put it back on. I was gonna do these doors first, but I got over to these doors and the windows weren't rolling down. And so instead of making a mess, I realized that I needed to reinstall these wiring harnesses on this hatch, because the wiring goes through in a I think a series is the right way to put it, kind of like Christmas lights, where if one thing is not, if a light's not plugged in, the other one won't work. And so got all of the pieces for the car in a safe place. And so you really want to make sure that you choose a shop that's gonna not only fix the dents well, but actually be able and capable to take your car apart, put it back together without anything missing, without breaking anything. All the little clips, even these here, these hold the wiring harness in the right place on the door, so that the window doesn't close on the inside of the door on them. There's so many little details. And so a lot of hail companies, they'll hire usually an inexpensive person to do these kind of things. Usually it's not in the best interest of the technician concerning their time management to repair the dents, to be doing all this removal and installation. But on some of these cars that have so much damage on the sides, it truly is necessary. And so pick a company that knows what they're doing, has done it before, is going to protect every part of your car, and do a great job because of that. And so and like I said, I can do good enough work on this to pass by keeping it on the car, but to get the most superior result, which is what we're all about here, we're taking the doors off, putting them on a stand when we have you know, so many dents. When there's such a high volume of dents on these doors, it doesn't make sense to try to fight them all day. 77 on that door, 135 on that door. It's the way to go. And so if your car or truck or SUV has hail damage like this, where there's just a ton of dents, and you really want the peace of mind that the company that's fixing them is going to take them apart correctly, put them back together correctly, doesn't just have some careless person who is going to try to take apart, try to put back together. If you want to make sure that your vehicle doesn't have any rattles or missing parts put back together, check us out. We'd love to serve you. If you have any questions about what we would have to take apart, what we would have to put back together, how we would do that, we would love to come and take a look at your car. Again, my name is Steven with Cornerstone Auto Pros. Our location is in our description. Thank you.